So let's round out this lesson 10 with a quick look at developing under multiple platforms at the same time. One of the things we've really liked about Node is that it really hasn't mattered what platform we develop under. It supports things like Linux, Mac OS X, and Microsoft Windows just fine, and we found that people can use whatever platform they're most comfortable with, and it really hasn't affected any Node work that I've done or seen done in the past. So I'm going to look at a couple of key things we can do to sort of make our life easier. But the good news is that 90% of the time, everything is going to work just automatically, and you're not even going to need to really pay attention to this sort of multi-platform issue. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to my folder. I'm actually back in lesson 9 with sort of, or, lesson 9 with the last version of the app we made for MySQL. But for lesson 8 and lesson 9, we've been going ahead and creating this local config.js file. And what we might actually do in our sort of source tree is I might actually call this local config-base.js. And then what I can do is whenever I check out a local version onto my local machine, then I could say copy local config base to just local config.js, and then I can edit this file here. And there's the, let's actually review this. Type G. There we go. So now I can actually go ahead and edit this file. And, maybe I'm on a Windows machine here, so I would actually want to say C, or, maybe Z colon static data pictures or something like that. And so the nice thing is I'm free to sort of configure this as I want, but in the sort of live checked in thing, I still have this local config base so that I can always copy and customize to a particular installation or something. So that is definitely something we'll do. We'll try to keep a lot of the paths in this local config file so that I don't have to sort of worry about things in my code. The other good thing, I'll actually just go here and look at this server.js. The other good news is that the require function here is totally cool with forward slashes or backslashes. The forward slashes will work just fine on Windows machines. So go ahead and just get used to using those forward slashes for relative paths and absolute paths and everything. The require function, the fs functions like the file opens and the reads and the writes will all work fine, perfectly fine with forward slashes. So yeah, absolutely just get comfortable using that in your code. So the only thing we might want to look at is let's do a sort of path.js here. So let's say there is a little bit of a case where I just, for whatever reason, I absolutely need to, know whether I'm using forward slashes or backslashes. I need to use the right kind for the right platform. So for that, I can actually use something called path.sep, and var path equals require. And this will actually, you can actually do console. Let's actually just do this. I can say node var p equals require path, and then I can just say p.sep, and you'll see it's the correct character for my current platform. The other thing we will also want to take a look at is process dot. I think it's called platform here as well. And yeah, you'll see it's for Mac, it's for Darwin, and most importantly, you'll see for Windows, it will actually be the value Win32 like that. So you can totally work. So let's go ahead and write a little example of a code here. We'll say var components equals, and then we'll say dot 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 static images, and then thumbnails or something like that. And so what you can actually do is you can say component, let's do console.log component. You can use the join function on arrays to put these things together, and then I can say use path.sep to make sure that I use the correct character to do this for us. So assuming I typed all that in correctly, we'll be in lesson 10. I should be able to say node path.js Right, and you'll see that it'll go ahead and using the path separator, the array join function will go ahead and put everything together for us. So that's really all there is to multi sort of platform development. If you want, you can sort of say if process dot platform equals Win32, you can do something, else, do something else. So this is kind of all you're going to need to pay attention to in all of your code. Otherwise, you should find that everything works just great. But I just wanted to throw this in here just to make sure that everybody was kind of clear on that and stuff. So that finishes at lesson 10. So now in lesson 11, we're going to go look at command line stuff and some actually synchronous function calls for a change. So see you then.